So let's talk about floral design Persian rugs. So floral design is one of the most common types of designs used in Persian rugs. And you're going to especially see this in Persian rugs that are from cities, like traditional Persian rugs that are made in cities. And this would include Tabriz, Sarouk, Kashan, Kerman, Nain, Isfahan. So pretty much most of the rugs that are made in the cities and in workshops, they're gonna have a floral design a majority of the time, although they do come in other types of designs as well, but the floral design is most popular. What's really interesting about the history of when floral design began to show up in Persian rugs is that it started showing up in the 16th century. Although the floral motifs were actually available to the rug weavers before this time, for some reason it doesn't really show up in Persian rugs until the 16th century. And one of the reasons that people speculate that this is that before that time, the Persian art culture was really suppressed because of the invasion from Turkmen and Mongols, and really the art and all the rug weaving designs and art got suppressed, and they weren't trying out new things. So that's just a little bit of interesting history about when floral design actually began. So once the rug weavers started incorporating the flower design into Persian rugs, starting with the 16th century, they started looking at some of the more popular floral designs during the time, such as the Shabasi design, which is really common in Persian culture. Also, they started taking rosettes and placing them in the center of the rug and creating the center medallion with it. Also, you'll notice that with floral design Persian rugs, curvilinear patterns are really common with them. So they're going to combine the flowers with curvilinear patterns to kind of have this harmony between the two designs. Another thing to note is that when it comes to the size of the flowers that are being used in floral design, whenever there's a floral medallion design, that's when there's a central medallion in the rug, you're going to find that the flowers are going to be smaller because there's going to be less space to work with. And whenever you have an all-over pattern in a floral design rug, you're typically going to see larger flowers, and the reason for that is that there's more space to use. And we'll be getting into more details about each of those topics of floral design later. So when it comes to interior decor with floral design Persian rugs, these rugs are really attractive, being used as the focal point of the room. You could kind of think of them as the accent wall that's usually used in interior design, and really these type of rugs can work with any kind of room. Now, again, these floral design rugs can be broken down into several categories, but here we're going to be focusing next on the medallion floral rugs and also the all-over floral rugs. So now let's talk about the floral medallion design in Persian rugs. So with this type of design, we have a floral design, but there's a center medallion in the middle of the rug. And this type of design is really, really common in traditional Persian rugs. So these are the rugs that are made in the cities. So for example, Tabriz, Kerman, Sarouk, Kashan, they're often going to have this type of design. And what's really the meaning behind this type of design, so the center medallion represents the lotus flower, and the lotus flower is a sacred flower in Persian rug culture. So the center medallion can be made of one large flower, or it can be made of several flowers put together, several small flowers put together to form one large medallion. Also, you're going to commonly see in medallion floral rugs that there's one center medallion and there's several other medallions around it. So there could be another medallion on top and below and on the sides of the main medallion in the center. Something else to note is also the branches that are typically inside the design for a floral medallion are going to be thinner branches. Same thing with the flowers. You're going to typically see smaller flowers that are being used in this type of design. And when it comes to decorating with floral medallion rugs, you're going to typically see them being used as the central point of the room. So they're going to be centered with either the room, or they're going to be centered with the furniture, or let's say the dining table. So typically they're going to play, because they have a medallion, they're going to be more center and focal point of the room. Now let's talk about floral all over design Persian rugs. So with this type of design, you're going to see a floral motif all over the field of the rug without the center medallion. Typically though, there is an ambiguous center in the rug, so there is some sort of focal point still where everything is centered around, although it might not be obvious. Something to note is that this is really common in traditional Persian rugs again. So you're going to typically see this in Tabriz, Sarouk, Kashan, Mashhad, Isfahan, and Nain, the rugs that are made in cities. So when you look inside the field of the floral all over rugs, you're going to find that the flowers they use are typically going to be larger, again, when it compares to medallion floral rugs, and there's going to be thicker branches, and this is all because they have the entire field to work with because of the lack of the center medallion. Also, all of these flowers, they're usually connected together with a network of vine and leaves and blossoms. You'll also find that there's going to be like different animals and birds inside of the field. And when it comes to decorating with the floral all over rugs, they're pretty flexible because they lack the center medallion, and they could be used in any part of the room, and they don't necessarily need to be centered with anything in the room. So that's something to note about decorating with these types of rugs.